What's up? Welcome to Currency.com's channel. My name is John, at RealJohnDoe on Twitter is where you can find me. In this video, I'm going to be helping you out and giving you the basics on understanding price action for crypto. I'll tell you a little bit of how to help understand where the price is headed towards, but let's not waste any more time with me talking. Let's jump right into the platform. And before we get started on this video, all I'm going to ask for from you guys is to hit that thumbs up button and like this video. That is one of the key supports that helps the channel continue to grow so we can continue to push out all of this free content for you guys. As you can see, we're already now at 18.5 subscribers. So you guys have been doing a good job doing your part. And if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do that right now. And once you've done both, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's move on with the video. So the first thing to look for when reading price action, number one, and that is the high time frame. Bitcoin should be the main one you look at since Bitcoin does have the most liquidity, and the weekly time frame or monthly time frame is the best thing to have a look at when you're starting out, because that lets you see where the trend is and what type of trend price is in, and if the price has been falling for weeks to months or going up from weeks to months. For example, right now in this current bull run, you can see Bitcoin did stay range from February 15th all the way to May, where it finally broke down and is now headed in a correction towards this next support at about $40,000, which shows right now in the high time frame that there has been quite a bit of sellers, and we could expect selling to slow down. But on something like a smaller time frame, such as, let's say, the 1 hour chart, here it just looks like Bitcoin is in a downtrend, but zooming out to the larger time frames help you see that Bitcoin is in an uptrend and is having a correction for the previous leg up. And number two on my list is consolidation, which is very important in trending price action. What consolidation is right here, something like this, where price sits in a certain range for an extended period of time. Lots of buyers and sellers come in with one trying to take control. And typically what you want to look for is consolidation closer to resistance, which is bullish, meaning price will try to push to the upside. As you can see in this uptrend for Bitcoin all the way to 65,000, consolidation periods all broke out. When we had this current dip we are at right now, this was the longest consolidation period we've had, which was not at a resistance. It was consolidation at support. And consolidation at support means price will most likely break down. That's exactly what we got and we've been having now for a few weeks. Three, this one kind of helps you think a little bit different than everyone else, and that is psychological price levels. Okay, so psychological levels are very important. They're not really things you need to look at the chart for, but it is something to keep in mind when looking for prices to enter or prices to exit for Bitcoin. And for psychological levels, let me give you a few examples. So the previous all-time high, they say it was 20,000, but it was actually somewhere in the 19,000 range. Majority of people will think in a whole number. Therefore, they will have price targets at 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, rather than having it at about 28,000 or 27,000 or 38,500. Keep in mind, to the upside and to the downside, psychological levels are usually a barrier where you will find either quite a bit of support or resistance. So what I'm trying to say is, don't think in whole numbers when you're trying to read price action. You kind of have to offset, maybe think $100, $500, or even $1,000 less, or even more if you're targeting towards the upside. And number four on my list is the current sentiment right now in the price action. So for the sentiment, you have to look at which side is having more strength for the price action. Is it the bulls and the market is in a bullish sentiment, or is it the bears and market is in a bearish sentiment pushing towards support levels? There are a few things that help you look at this, such as indicators. You can also look at volume, have a look if there is more selling happening than buying. And then another thing that can help you out as well is something like this here, a fear and greed index, which will look at different time frames and tell you if there is fear overall in the market right now or if there's greed. Currently right now, it shows that there is quite a bit of fear with Bitcoin heading down, which showing that there is a bearish sentiment and it could be time for a reversal. And another thing that can help you read the sentiment without really looking at the charts is going on somewhere like CoinGecko. Right now I'm using EVAI, and look at the current ratings of the market. And it's pretty similar to how some stock trading platforms will give you also ratings for stocks, showing if there's a strong buy or strong sell. But you got to always remember, look at the ratings and look at the previous ratings and see where the sentiment has shifted to, because the sentiment isn't always what it is. And you could be already too late for that next move. So sometimes you would look for a trade on the opposite side of the sentiment. Number 5 here on the list, going a little bit wider in the crypto space, and that is altcoins. Altcoins are also very important for reading price action of crypto because it lets you know where the money is going, where the rotation of money is going. So for example, you look at Ethereum, which is highly correlated with Bitcoin. You can see that's also heading downwards. Bitcoin Cash right here, it's also heading down. Litecoin, the same thing. So with majority of the altcoins also heading towards the downside, that is showing that the sentiment is quite bearish right now. But you could also have situations like this. For example, right now, XRP, the rest of the crypto market is down, but XRP seems to be holding support, which is indicating right now that if the markets do rebound right here, XRP is the altcoin that is showing the most strength for a bigger push towards the upside. And Bitcoin dominance is number 6 on my list. This is a graph that shows you how much dominance of the market cap that Bitcoin has. This is the Bitcoin dominance over the years. As you can see right now, it is approaching towards those all-time low levels, and there is a potential for it to go even lower. And if it does, then that means altcoins will have a bigger push and continue to outperform Bitcoin in terms of price action. Number 7 here on my list, pretty much riding the wave, and that is to follow the money. So an example of that could also be the price action for Bitcoin. If you see a lot of buyers coming in and the buying volume is increasing, then that is suggesting for you to stay with the side of the buyers, because that will put you on the right side of the market, flow with the price action rather than trying to predict to bet against it. And following the money or following the trend is not as easy as it looks, because some people, what I'll mention next is your bias that could affect the way you enter into a trade based on something else you're thinking about. But majority of the time, when you just follow the wave, ride it out, you will be on the right side of the trade, and you could ride a whole trend for weeks and weeks and months and not have to really worry about anything affecting your current position on the market. And then the last thing here to keep note of, which is probably the hardest of them all, and that is your bias. So bias is the last thing we're going to talk about. Like I mentioned earlier, just riding the wave and following the trend almost seems too easy. And most people want to feel right and feel like they need to be doing something. So your bias, you could enter into a trade. Let's say you got in right at the beginning of a trend, price is up about 100%, and you see prices approaching resistance. Your bias will either tell you this has gone too high up, I need to sell, this is the top. And then look what ends up happening here. Price breaks out, and then you watch price continue to ride up. And then you're like, okay, let me get back in again. Price goes into a correction. Then you start getting scared about your position. It comes right back down, pulls down to support where you previously would have entered. And then you start riding a big whole wave of emotions. So what works best for me is I usually just ride out a position and let the price action make the decision for me in entering or exiting a trade. And the things we talked about in this video are all things to consider when trading that will help you maintain a long trading career and also stay profitable in the long term in all market conditions. But I hope you guys enjoyed my tips on reading price action. And don't forget to comment below. Let me know if this video helped you out. And also let me know on another video that you would like to see us post on our channel that could also help you out with your trading. Make sure you do check out the analysis also on the channel where we dig a little bit deeper. And I use all those examples that we mentioned in this video to come up with future predictions to the bullish and the bearish side for Bitcoin and altcoins. I hope to see you again in the next videos. Thanks for tuning in with Currency.com. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.